Hey y'all, this is Anna Alexander. Welcome back to my bedroom on this day. We're here on this journey. It is the season 4 premiere of Black Sails. And the legend of Long John Silver has been launched into the world, unbeknownst to John. Horny Gold is dead. So far, our pirate crew has won a battle. Will they win the war? In some regards, because we don't really have pirates like we still have pirates now, but not like this. So, and we're setting up a potential in the future Flint Silver showdown. Teach is here. Jack's doing okay, holding his own. What besides more battle with the British, where do we go next? So thank you so much for being here with me on this adventure. We are going to get under the big cozy blanket. Today my beverage is water because we need to hydrate. I went out earlier this week. I'm trying not to break my liver. Truly. I have all of you who is hopefully going to hit subscribe. And also don't forget, you can watch this full episode with me along on Patreon. You take your copy, we hit start at the same time, and we have a good time. So if you're ready, I think I'm ready for this. Let's get to it.
You said to find someone to go? She did. How much?
So this whole idea of converting the gold coins into smaller objects of same value, I understand the concept, but I don't, the theory. When you can have gold worth so much one day and then worth something else a week later, how? Again, that's why I always thought it's worth what someone's willing to pay for it.
Two peoples within you who shall be divided.
Are you trapped or tied? Trapped?
And here I sit at the head of an army of men, each of whom, present company included, has probably at some point considered killing the man he now fights alongside.
Right, that's right. We had the table, the Knights of the Round Table of pirates.
Do you feel any better? I haven't considered killing you in months.
We are so close. So very close. If we can just hold this alliance together just a little longer,
so,
we can just...
They defeat England. Who's then in charge? You gotta have at least one.
You and I have willed our men through unthinkable things to get this far.
There's no sign of the alarm being raised. Is it possible they trust our false colors?
Well, anything's possible.
With the governor's naval consort gone and the fort lightly armed, if at all, they won't be able to prevent us from making a landing today.
Are they planning on storming the beach?
You still don't trust him, do you?
I understand why you do.
We are in sight of the end of this journey. And he's still worried this alliance all falls apart before we get there. Please don't give him any more reason to indulge that feeling.
I think she's like me, trust no one.
Sharpen up the yards now and clue our courses as we approach the harbor.
So who's... Oh, he's on Teach's ship. Okay. I was like, what ship is Jack on? Calling orders out.
One of us should probably say something.
About what?
Remind the men in whose name this fight is to be fought.
You think they've forgotten?
But we are emotional beings, after all, and rhetoric is the fuel that feeds the fire. Conquest has stood before his army.
Do it.
So, Teach, why are... Oh, you're there because... Okay. I know he said before why, but does he really believe that?
What is it?
The governor's sloops are moving.
They don't look manned. Are they booby-trapped?
Maybe nothing. Maybe something.
Booty-trapped!
No guns.
It's just as Billy said.
Unless they're all sick and dying of malaria, whatever it is.
To bay.
What the fuck is the Defiant doing? Why is she cutting across our bow?
Helm! Hard to starboard! Whatever!
Who's in charge of the Defiant?
Let the seas fly! Let the seas fly!
Oh, did they sink ships like to create a natural reef? So they would beach themselves?
Can we get free?
And there's the cannons.
Take cover!
Oh, you can't fire back.
Signal the sloops to engage.
Well, Woods had a plan. He had a pretty decent plan. Just 2 guns. We just need 2 guns. Is that the plan? Just a gun. Ugh. Well. We are on fire. This is terrible. And what an adventure to film and choreograph and put all together.
We cannot fire the great guns into that mess. We'll kill as many of our own men as theirs. But if we run with the one ship that still presents a threat to the governor, he may very well chase.
And if they don't chase?
Then we look like cowards. This is when he gets trapped. I'm not going to do the can I hold my breath for as long as John can, because I can tell you right now, I'm not prepared. Oh, they're firing on the oh no. They are getting massacred. Massacred. They didn't, They can't even get their ships away. Their little boats. This is terrible. Oh, goodbye, Walrus. You've been with us for so long.
Inform the council I'll return once the street is... And please have someone retrieve my wife.
Of course, my lord.
Where's his wife? His wife is there? His wife is there? Why are you embroidering, Eleanor? For reals?
It has been quiet for some time. Is that bad for us or bad for them?
And they all knew they were coming. They were coming then.
Mrs. Rogers, the governor requests your presence.
They got married, but isn't he still wed to somebody else? Huh.
And I told you before we ever set foot on this island, I will do whatever necessary to ensure your success here.
Could marry you?
I'll send for you as soon as I'm satisfied the street is secure.
Why does this captain guy look familiar to me? I've seen him in other things. Or have I seen him in this show and I'm just not placing him? But he looks familiar.
Here I must be careful. I have well over 200 men unaccounted for.
That's so many.
To remain, it will be very hard to explain to them why. With all I have to tend to, I choose to stand here, hanging on to the fate of just one of them.
I know that you and he had been working closely together of late. Become friends, even.
Perhaps just that He is my friend too.
As in co-worker friend? Not necessarily friend.
They obstructed the harbor. I know. It must have taken them days to arrange. I know. Then why the fuck didn't you warn us? I did warn you.
When?
The moment I learned of it, I sent word to Mr. Featherstone. He was supposed to send word to you not to enter the harbor.
Oh, where's Mr. Featherstone?
Then Mr. Featherstone has fucked us all. Yes, I know that too. Is this all that's left?
He is so tall!
The rest are presumed dead or captured.
And Silver? Which is he?
Yes.
There'll be debts to repay after today. And there'll be plenty of time to do it.
Debts to repay. What was that? What was that? Debts to repay.
Where are you?
Where are you?
We sail for Nassau soon.
Prequel. Prequel. Okay. Was not expecting. Well, should have expected it. Not expecting this. This is a lot of naked.
We received word today from NASA that Billy's resistance movement has proclaimed its fealty to a pirate king. The pirate king's name is Long John Silver.
So is this the message that said they're sunken ships?
Who is Long John Silver?
Oh, that's a very good question. It's all mystery in it, perhaps. Use my name upon which to build his story.
And this bothers you. Why?
Because I'm a pirate king.
We've come this far because when Flint and I have the same mind, there's no obstacle we yet encountered that we cannot surmount. To elevate one of us over the other, even as a fiction, seems to me to be tempting fate in a most dangerous way.
I think you would be a very good king. If I were a no-good pirate, I would follow you wherever you led.
Well, this is quite a change from when we first met John, way back when he found the page. After he killed it from the guy. Took it from the guy he killed, and then ate it. So what is the percentage of accurate shots from a cannon to a target like that?
He wants this fight. Let him have it.
That sounds ominous.
Prepare to be boarded!
They're being boarded! Well, okay. You're just okay. What was that look for? What was that look for? Oh, got some hand to hand. Oh, no. Well, you did somewhat well there, sir. Gave Jack a second and a half. Is this when we get like a Dufresne eye pokey outie moment? There's 100 plus more. Keep going. Keep going. Who do they fish out of the water?
Without any sense of where to look.
And what about informants? Well, there must be someone in town who knows where the pirates will go to hide.
Mm-hmm.
I understand they might be hesitant to come forward yesterday with the outcome in doubt, but today...
Is he thinking of Max?
Are you telling me that literally no one has offered assistance? Why would they when it is so much easier to do nothing?
They don't like you.
Meanwhile, we fight an enemy here determined to see all of civilization collapse. The only thing standing between them and their goal is you and I. And no one else seems willing to lift a finger to help. I hope at some point someone will explain to me what sort of sense any of that makes.
Island time, baby. They just want to live life on the island. pina coladas and clear oceans.
Captured 9 more just east of the fence line. We think this one's Flint's ship's master.
Mr. Duckroads.
You were part of Flint's inner circle. If you have information about Captain Flint's contingency plans, it may argue in favor of leniency.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, Duckroad. Duckroad.
You don't remember me, do you? I was there that day. In the forest, I saw what your people did to my men.
Oh.
The children of the camp were encouraged to remove the ears from men I called friends.
Well, what would you have done to them, sir?
To mark the victory.
Oh, Mr. DeGroote's gonna get a Van Gogh happening here.
Hold him.
Can't question a dead man, but he can be maimed.
But some things are more important than duty.
No! 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 I want the trial started as soon as possible. I want this behind us.
It's all fallacy. Trials. These trials are a joke. They're all gonna sneak away to Mrs. Barlow's house.
After you defeated his forces, the naval commander notified the governor he was quitting Nassau. Took his fleet back to London. One subordinate, Captain Berenger, he led a mutiny of a few hundred men determined to stay and avenge that defeat. Swore a loyalty oath to Rogers personally. And then began a purge in town of anyone even suspected of having a connection to our cause.
What kind of purge?
Berenger tried to reach out from town into our camp, turned 2 of our men against us. Fortunately, we were able to discover the plot in time.
Do we know who that was? Do we remember him from last season? Wow. They're cooking them. They're cooking them.
My people have free reign over most of the rest of the island.
Your people.
I'll meet you inside.
Yeah, Billy's got people. You have your people, Flint. He's got his people. Oh, this is Mrs. Barlow's house. It's no longer Mrs. Barlow's house. It is the Resistance. Wow, there has been some time since the end of last season, isn't it? Is the picture of Thomas still there? Oh no. Well, Eleanor knows where Mrs. Barlow's cottage is.
121 prisoners we took today. 121 trials to process. Never let it be said that civilization came to anyone easily here.
And these trials, they will all be taking place here.
It would please me if you would accommodate it, yes?
You have no choice. They're gonna be here.
Shall I expect to be reimbursed for the costs of this?
As my friend, I would think you'd be eager to do your part to see our common enterprise survive its current crisis.
May I suggest that...
I thank you for your aid today. It is, I believe, to be expected. Today, tomorrow, every day, till the war is won. That is the burden that we all ought to share.
As your silent partner, I am
There
able
are
to...
no silent partners anymore. I will have no more of them. This is now an island of true friends and mortal enemies, and nothing in between. Should I have any reason to believe otherwise?
Yes, if you continue in this vein of speech, sir.
Of course not, my lord.
Oh, he's pushing her towards the other side.
Give us the room.
These are Billy's men.
Now, even with your men here, we don't have sufficient numbers to move on Nassau directly and be a short victory. If we could dramatically increase those numbers.
How?
The Underhill plantation. And if we could convince even half of those slaves to join our fight, we might then actually be in a position to take back
So
Nassau.
long. Or you're suggesting we don't have time for that.
We need to strike quickly. Directly at Nassau.
How?
The next blow struck may be a decisive one, and we have to be the one that strikes.
Stop. I prepared these men to follow Long John Silver upon his return. Now, if you assume that in his absence that role now reverts to you, then you assume wrong. You weren't the one who led them in those midnight raids on the western plantations. You aren't the one who has lived with them and drank with them and bled with them.
These are Billy's men.
I have become so easily set aside, have I?
Yes.
Do you have value to me? Yes.
For now.
You're forgetting one thing.
I'm Captain motherfucking Flint.
Somewhere on an island a few days' journey from here is a chest filled with treasure.
That's gonna be his ace in the hole.
Men who know of that place, I may be the last one alive. After today,
My word will govern.
I know too.
Oh, she knows where it's at.
3 men know the resting place of the chest, and 1 woman. He told it to me before we left home. It would be preferable if there were one voice to govern here tomorrow.
That will be mine.
There will be no pirate king here. Of that much, I am certain.
Meanwhile, wouldn't it have been easier just to pop off the leg? I don't know how it was secured to him, but I would think that would be easier. That heartbeat is a nice touch. There we go. There we go. Crawl inside. God, that's so much holding your breath. I would have expired. I would have expired. I would have tried not to, but at some point you gotta take a breath. Oh no! You think this is the good way to go? We got goats. It's going under. It's going under. Well, now you're trapped again. You're Long fucking John Silver. Come on, make a move. Yipes! Yipes! Well, I guess they were victorious. This episode. This episode.
When was the last time you fought in a vanguard?
Never.
He ain't never gonna see you in that way. Teach.
Think that little of me, that I care so much how I'm seen in his eyes, I'd be willing to lose my life over it.
Why did you do it?
Charles! It's all for Charles.
When I was in that carriage with the governor, I had a chance to end it all. Had my hands round his neck. Had I done more in that moment? Had I been more?
Oh, the guilt.
Charles Vane risked his life for us.
I know how you felt about him. I felt the same way and you know it. He's dead.
Physically. Physically.
We are all here towards the end of retaking the island.
In terms of motive, maybe we'll all just have to accept that we're
Driven by different things.
And what happens when those motives start demanding their own ends? And this thing we're all a part of starts splitting right down the middle?
That isn't going to happen.
It already is.
What did he do?
What did who do?
Set a course for Nassau.
To do...
To send a message when we return. That this can all end.
That's their trial.
The governor turns over the one thing he wants.
So it doesn't matter the island, he's after the one person.
I need to know why you're behaving as if victory is so far away when to me it seems that it is so close at hand.
When I informed Sarah of my intent to formally end our marriage,
I did not know what the consequences would be.
So
I didn't imagine they would be significant. We'd barely spoken in years.
They divorced.
Her reaction was more significant than I'd anticipated.
Did she...
Her family intervened with a few of my larger creditors and persuaded them to accelerate my timetables for repayment.
She didn't miss you. She missed your position and your finances.
The courts would issue the warrant, and I would be a fugitive from the law. England is at war. There is no money from them to support our efforts here, so I have had to assume substantial private debts to do so.
To win. Yeah? To win.
Debts which will require the swift return of commerce here if they are ever to be repaid. Commerce.
Why would you want to do commerce on Nassau right now?
Her family has the ability to do that, to manipulate your creditors so easily.
What is this line of questioning, Eleanor?
So does mine.
Does it? Do they? Do they? They certainly intervene when you're on trial in England, right? Right? Oh, all these bodies. All these bodies. That's a mess. That's a mess and a half. Well, you made it to shore. Now what? Act dead, act dead. You better know who that is. Really act dead. Hide under the body of somebody else. You're causing so much noise and they're right on top of you. John, this is terrifying.
Long John Silver, welcome home.
Who are you, sir? When there's so much carnage, my brain wipes out. And I go into another world where it's just all white noise and until there's no much carnage. So Rogers, he has no support from England. So, money. He footed the bill a lot. Why? That was your choice. So that's why. That's why he's still in the game. Because he owes money to people. So if England prevails, he still stays governor so he can keep all the money, I'm guessing. And pretend to send it to England. Right? Does Max switch sides? And what happened to Mr. Featherstone? Why didn't the message get to Flint? John's captured. Okay. Flint is being hobbled by Billy. Oh, Billy. Badass Billy. And nowhere did Eleanor say, I know where they might have gone. There's a cottage where they used to hold up before. Did she forget? She's been there. And they all look beaten to hell. All of them. And like most alliances built by pirates, it's falling apart like a fly in a cupboard. Because again, they all do have their own motivations. And when those motivations don't align with each other anymore. There we go. I don't even know what. I don't even know how to process anymore. But there we go. The beginning of season 4. The last season. Thank you so much for being with me as I almost knocked things off my desk. But thank you so much for being with me. Don't be strangers. Hit subscribe so you know when the next video drops. And until then, dress warmly. It's cold out. It's snowing in Florida. Sure. Okay. Unless you're down south. South of the equator. Put on your sunscreen. Drink your water. Stretch your bodies. And then come back and see the next video in the queue. So thanks again, y'all. And until next time.